Hello, and welcome back to Lost in the Reel. I am your host, Morgan,
And this is your co-host, Sean.
and we are very excited today because we are ranking Disney animated films from the Bronze Age, also known as the Dark Age, from 1970 to 1988.
Woo, let's do it.
Woo!
The Bronze Age was a very problematic and chaotic time in Disney animated history. Walt Disney, unfortunately, had just passed away in 1966 at the young age of 65. He had been overseeing some films that came out during this period, but never saw them to fruition. We also had a huge exodus of animators who either died, retired, or moved on to create their own studios like Don Bluth. So, once again, this was a very turbulent time in Disney animated history, and they almost stopped making animated films altogether because of how difficult this time was. So, now we're going to rank our films from least favorite to our most favorite. Morgan, do you want to get started off with number 8?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Sean. And my number 8 is The Black Cauldron. Like, oh my gosh, it was just one of the worst animated films I've ever seen, and that's including our very obscure animated films. Like, for this to come out of Disney, I thought I would assume that this is the death of Disney. Not my favorite. Bad plot, bad voice acting, animation. I liked how it was dark, but poof, just it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
Whew, that was rough there, Morgan. You
Yeah,
really did like it.
I don't like it.
My number 8 is also The Black Cauldron. This is definitely the black sheep, or I guess rather the Black Cauldron of Disney films.
Go, Sean.
I it, it doesn't fit into the Disney canon at all. I like the idea that they wanted to do something different and darker, and bring in fantasy elements. So down for that, but they just did not do it right. It is way too short to be an epic fantasy. You can't really get close to any of the characters. The story is really convoluted, even for a fantasy story. Um, and I was a huge fan when I was younger of the Prydain books by Lloyd Alexander. So just watching them kind of butcher it was really difficult, especially now that I'm older.
Yeah, like as a child, it didn't interest me, and as an adult, it's just an embarrassment. So yeah, that's. I'm glad we're in agreement on that, though.
Hard pass.
Okay. My number 7 is Fox and the Hound. I rewatched it. I'm not because of the ranking, just because I wanted to rewatch it as an adult. And the story is just sadly very, very boring. And I didn't get the fox and the hound character is very cute. It made me want to get a fox. But I just didn't care at all. And I don't want, and for me, the music is everything. And the music was so painful. I didn't like the music at all. The plot was slow. Yeah, it's my number 7. Sorry, Sean. Am I hurting your feelings?
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Are we? No?
Yeah, we'll talk about this after the video's done, boo boo.
Okay. Oh no.
My number 7 is going to be Robin Hood. I actually really liked this. Oh God. See, this is where we start pissing each other off.
We agreed on one thing. One thing.
Okay, so I really loved this movie when I was younger. It was probably one of my favorite Disney movies. Now, rewatching it, now that I'm older, I think that it is very cutesy and goofy and very lackadaisical. I also don't think the animation is that good. And it's like it's a nice Disney movie, but it just doesn't set itself apart from any of the other talking animal movies. And I also just think Robin Hood, the story in general, is just tired. So for me, it's just a forgettable movie. But I do love the that song. Robin Hood and Little John
Little
walking.
John walking through the forest,
Yeah,
dodging
I like
arrows.
that, but I like that, but that's it.
Oh wow! All right, so we are. This is gonna be interesting.
Mm.
My number 6 is The Rescuers. I kind of along the same lines of the Fox and the Hound. Um, it just wasn't super interesting. The music again was just not. Music can make and break a Disney film, especially animated for me, and this one didn't do it. I grew up though. Forewarning with Down Under, not the original Rescuers. So it's not a childhood movie. The Rescuers Down Under is the movie that I watched repeatedly at a young age, not the original.
But you
Um,
put The Rescuers Down Under low on your list too, though.
Compared to the other films of that age, yes, but if I had to choose between the Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under, I choose the Rescuers Down Under. Yep. Sorry. I mean, yeah.
Okay, my number 6 is the Aristocats. I actually I thought this was gonna be the bottom of the bottom for me because I think I've
Huh.
only seen this film once before, and I do still think it is one of the more forgettable Disney films just because the story is so it's just a very, very simple story. But I actually ended up liking this one a lot more than I thought I would. Rewatching it, I loved the two Geese sisters and they're like running with their like drunk uncle. Like I
Uncle
loved that.
Waldo?
Yeah, that was great. I thought that the little kittens all had really fun, interesting, different personalities, and Thomas O'Malley is just so cool. I love his character. The voice acting is really, really good in that one as well.
Yes, the voice acting is great. You have the Phil Harris who plays Thomas O'Malley, Ava Gabor as Duchess, and Sterling Holloway as Rockefort. And those are all we'll see in Robin Hood and even like past ones, Jungle Book. Just great voice acting.
Absolutely.
My number 5 is the Aristocats. Pretty
What?
much everything you said. The characters are very cute. The plot, again, like not so much. It's just quaint story. I love the song "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat,"
Mm,
but that's about it.
okay.
And again, music makes it for me. Um, and the kittens are very cute. But as a plot, like sometimes I just find I rewatched it again, and I found myself zoning out, and I'm like,
Mm.
it's not very interesting.
It's still fun though. I'm surprised at how much I liked it this time around. So my number 5 is going to be the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I absolutely love these characters. I think I like them just as much as like Charlie Brown, just like a classic group of characters. I do have issues, and it's not just with this one, but it's with all of the animated Winnie the Pooh movies. They're fun and whimsical, and the music is good while you're watching it, but then it's really hard to remember them afterwards. Like, I'm like, oh, that was a good time, and then it's like, okay, moving on with life. I just kind of find them to just be light, fluffy fare that don't have a lot of like impact.
Yeah, wow, that's very accurate to what I feel, which is why it's my number 4. But also the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh specifically, it's just I'm biased. My childhood, I still to this day will say tut tut it looks like rain because of that movie. And I hear what you're saying about the music, and overall the character is very whimsical and fun and just lighthearted, but there's something kind of substantial to it. The fact that like I say tut tut it looks like rain, maybe I'm the only one, but TTFN, ta ta for now, like so many little quotes are
Mm.
memorable and they stay in. And rewatching it now, it's just so darn cute. And it is pretty funny. The animation is very funny, I find, and what they do with the characters. It's great. I keep it as my number 4, mostly out of nostalgia, and I just rewatch it so many times, and the characters are so heartwarming that
Mhm.
you feel attached to them no matter what.
Absolutely. It's all about the characters with the Winnie the Pooh series, not really much so about the stories for me.
Yeah.
My number four is Oliver and Company. I really like this movie. I think it's extremely underrated, and I'm gonna kind of share with you why. But literally, the "Why Should I Worry" is one of my all-time favorite Disney songs. Why does no one talk about that song, first of all? It's funny because this movie is very much a product of its time, like of the 80s. The soundtrack, literally, it's like listening to a soft rock station on the radio. But I'm all there for it. I like soft rock, and I really like the music in this movie. It has, once again, a great cast of interesting, funny characters. I just think that people overlook it because it's kind of the odd duck of the mix. It's not like the classic animated movies, but it doesn't belong in the Renaissance either. It's just kind of on its own. It doesn't seem like a Disney movie, but it's still great nonetheless.
Oh, totally. The soundtrack, amazing. Can't go wrong with some Billy Joel. And I love, I agree, Sean. Like when you think about Oliver and Company, I don't place it in the Bronze Age or not quite the Renaissance. It's just like this weird little thing off by itself. Good choice. My number three is Robin Hood, you heartless bastard, because I love it. I can't believe it's so low on your list. Yes, the animation is reused very
Mhm.
clearly from like the Aristocats, but as we said, it was a chaotic time for Disney, and the fact that they finished the film and I believe that it is a solid plot, wonderful music. I can listen to that soundtrack by itself, not just from watching the movie. I like the folksy kind of, and the narrating rooster. I love it.
Mhm.
And I enjoy the story of Robin Hood. I know you said it was overplayed,
Mhm.
but it's actually out of all the variations that have been made animated and live action, this is my favorite Robin Hood. I think it's if we don't need another live action Robin Hood because we have this animated one. It's just great, and it's just a fully realized story. I like that. Versus like Aristocats, you're kind of just like, what's the point? What's happening? I don't know. I really love Robin Hood.
I yeah, I think it really is for me the fact that just I am so done with Robin Hood in general. Like we have seen way too many iterations of it, and even though it's different and it's a fox and a bear, like it's still the story. I'm done with it.
Really?
uh, my number three is going to be The Great Mouse Detective.
Nice.
I I love this movie first and foremost because I love mysteries and I love the character of Sherlock Holmes. So it's really cool to see him in mouse form. This film is shockingly dark. Like holy crap! I remember being scared of it when I was younger, and obviously now that I'm older, it's not as scary. But like that nasty little bat with the one leg, he is a nasty bat and he is so scary. Oh, anyways, what's his name? Fidget? Is his name Fidget?
Fidget.
I think. Oh God. So you got some really crazy villains. Ratigan, voiced by Vincent Price, is a classic villain. A really cool creative story in the animatronic Queen of England kind of situation, and just a very suspenseful, fun ride. I think what makes it also good for kids is it's not just dark for dark's sake like the Black Cauldron. This one also has the hijinks and the excitement of a kids movie with just like a little bit of dark suspense mixed in.
Totally, it's a very well balanced and like yeah, Fidget's terrifying. That first scene when he comes, it's been like 20 years. Everyone get over spoilers. When he comes to the window, I rewatched that as an adult, and between that scene and just the overall Radigan, terrifying,
Mm-hmm.
terrifying, but not, but it's not excessive. It's necessary, I think.
Yep.
Nice. I respect that. My number two is the Great Mouse Detective, and I will continue this conversation now. Like, the character is, I'm a sucker for Sherlock Holmes. And talk about numerous iterations. This one is also one of the best ones. Overall, the story was great. Vincent Price as Radigan, truly terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it had humor for children and adults, which I loved, and the animation was great. And I think the final scene where you kind of start seeing a little bit more experimentation with the animation of the hand drawn into the CGI of the Clockwork Tower, and it's just like truly suspenseful, like what you would expect from a live action plot. I loved it. I love that movie so much. Also, my childhood.
I exactly. I love that you brought up the animation too. I think that what they tried to do in the Black Cauldron and failed, kind of moving into the new generation of filmmaking with computers. I think The Great Mouse Detective did it right, whereas the Black Cauldron did it so very wrong.
So wrong. So wrong. It's, yeah.
So my number dos is The Rescuers. Yeah, heartless bitch.
My bad.
I love this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, Bianca and Bernard are the perfect couple in like a Disney movie. They're innocent, but they have such chemistry together. And there's like the fact that she's like this beautiful, fancy rich woman, and he's, the janitor, with a heart of gold. I love their chemistry together. And also just the cast of characters in The Rescuers. We have Penny, who's this innocent girl who has been kidnapped. We have what's his name? Orson? Is his name Orson? No, Orville. Who the albatross. We
Hmm.
have Rufus, the old cat. We have the
Adorable.
dragonfly. There's all of these crazy, like, wonderful characters in this story. And then we have this crazed woman in Madame Medusa. And the thing is you almost feel like the stakes are higher than most Disney movies in The Rescuers, because we have a kidnapped human girl and we have this crazy woman who you can almost see like a villain in real life, almost like her mannerisms and how she is. It's like you just kind of know one of those crazy ladies like Madame Medusa in your life. And it maybe it's just me. I can think of a teacher from elementary school that reminds me a lot of her. But anyways, I just absolutely love this movie. I think it's creative, it's adventurous, and it's just a fantastic time.
Okay, you slightly convinced me. I don't know if I'm gonna increase it on the ranking, but it's still a good job. Okay, I
Mm.
respect that. Um, my number one is Oliver and Company because I think it is one of the most underrated Disney films. Not of this like genre or age, but in general, like
Mm.
I love the story. I love all the characters. The hard New York life, the 80s is just shouting at you in every
Oh yeah.
scene. Like I'm a sucker for Billy Joel and Bette Midler as Georgette the Poodle. Her song, so funny. I'm just imagining Bette Midler in a studio bark singing. It makes my life. Talk about like with Madame Medusa, a villain you can relate to or see in real life. I mean, the classic mobster loan shark villain of Sykes, terrifying.
Mm.
And Fagin, I wanted Fagin's life. I wanted to live on a janky little boat with a bunch of dogs and just like scrounge for stuff. Like I'm slowly trying to get there, I think, as an adult. Uh, and Dodge's character was like too cool for a school. I don't know. It's great. I love that movie so much. It's my number one.
It's a good choice, definitely. I think you're just a fan of the underdog in general. You have Oliver and Company as your number one, and also your number one in the Renaissance as well, is also very much so an underdog. So I
I just see the uniqueness in all films and I think differently. No, I don't know.
it's a good choice, Morgan,
Thanks.
definitely. My number one is The Fox and the Hound.
I'm sorry. Okay, tell me why.
Okay, this is my favorite Disney animated film of all time. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I think that this movie, first of all, it was very special to me when I was younger. I loved it. But I think that it was the first Disney film that was really it took the chance of covering mature adult themes, whereas a lot of the Disney animated movies in the past, they kind of covered maybe death or stuff like that, but never anything so powerful as social prejudice and also how life changes and how we have to move on in life. Why are you doing that face, Morgan?
Because those are really good points, and I'm just secretly like, oh shit, you're right.
And what I love about it is it's so simple at the beginning with "We're the best of friends, having so much fun together." Okay, so it's simple and it's sweet and innocent, and then I love how it turns really dark and there's huge changes in their life because they're not supposed to be friends in the social scheme of things. And it's such a melancholy film in the fact that they don't make a happy ending at all. They make a movie that tells you the truth about life. Like they had to move on, but they'll never forget the memories that they had of when they were best friends. And that's what makes them who they are moving forward in life. And this movie turns me into a blubbering, crying little baby every time I watch it. I just think it's a powerful, beautiful, moving animated film. And I don't know. I just think it's so underrated. I wish people would really, especially by you, I wish people would rewatch it with kind of just a different lens.
I love that. And you did like you bring up good points of the friendship and how maybe not a classical happy ending of them being friends, but the memories of them being friends and adult themes, but not like gore and death adult themes, but loss of a relationship. Good points, good points. But the second you sang that stupid song, I was just like, nope, I don't like it. I
Oh,
don't.
it's amazing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We're the best of friends.
No, it's just not. But okay. I respect you though. And you're my best friend. So
Thank you so much, guys, for watching Lost in the Reel. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Like the video if you liked it. And also comment down below. Let us know what your favorite Disney animated films are from the Bronze Age. And let us know what era you'd like us to rate next. Thank you
bye,
so much.
thanks.
Take care.